my name is Tracy Bennett, and I'm currently a teacher at Canyon High School. I teach pre-AP English to freshmen. Over the course of 20 years, I have taught in several different schools, ranging from kindergarten all the way up through senior year. A definition of an instructional supervisor is someone who provides leadership to empower teachers to make creative lesson plans to instruct students. A strong leader stimulates growth in teachers by providing professional development and opportunities to grow in their learning experiences. The ultimate purpose of supervision is to provide a framework for the staff to be able to follow a strong leader. This is done by creating relationships with students and with faculty to create a sense of trust. Once that trust is built, then the supervisor can lead through modeling. Modeling is very important, and when teachers are able to see that the leader is able to do what they say they're going to do and they follow through, and the leader is able to model what is being said, teachers seem to buy in more to that, and they are willing to follow that type of leader. Supervision is where you help guide and coach those under you to become better and to do what they can and learn and grow in their skills. The ultimate purpose of supervision is to help those under their supervision to become self-sufficient, to be great leaders, to do things on their own, to help excel and make students successful. The supervisory approach that works best for me is the collaborative supervision. I feel that this is the best one because it's not just one person making a decision and a directive. It's a collaboration between one or more people coming to a decision on a problem. First, the problem is established. Once that problem is established, then they work together to create a solution for that problem. Everyone is working together, coming up with the decision and coming up with a solution. It's not just one person's ideas. The role is to be, as a leader, is to be active in the decision-making process and to help continue guiding the process of the decision until there is a final solution made. The collaborative process is the best that works for me. The knowledge that a supervisor should possess is knowing what's going on in the building. You do this by figuring out what's happening with the CNA process through discussions with teachers and faculty, with partners within the community, with the superintendent. All of this is going to help the supervisor gain knowledge of what is occurring inside of the school. Then, once the knowledge is obtained, the supervisor needs to use these skills through email, through surveys, through various different types of information in order to get information to help make decisions for the supervisor and the school. The supervisor also has to have a positive attitude. If they are leading negatively, then the building is going to be negative. So the supervisor has to remain positive in all aspects, even when it is extremely hard to do so. By doing this, you're going to lead by example, and others will follow that lead. Values, you have to stand by what you say. If you say you're going to do something, you have to follow through with that. And the best way to do that is to write things down. If you get an email or someone mentions something to you in passing, you have to make sure and write that down so that you can follow through with whatever it is that you say you're going to do. That creates a sense of trust within the building and the faculty. If you don't do what you say you're going to do, it breaks that trust, and those underneath of you aren't going to want to follow what you have to say. You have to be positive in an everyday interactions with the teachers. Even if it's a very stressful, negative situation, you have to try to remain as positive as possible. By doing this, it will rub off on those underneath of you, and you will help build a positive rapport within the school climate and the culture, and people will tend to follow that a whole lot more than a negative leader. One of the most important things a supervisor can do to meet the needs of the teacher is to always have their back, as long as things are done legally. If a teacher knows that they are being supported by the administration, with parents, with the students, they will go a long way to do whatever is necessary in their classrooms to help students be successful. This is an important need that supervisors need to make sure and do for teachers. Teachers have curriculum and they have the things that they need in their classroom. They need to know that their emotional needs are met and know that they are not isolated from everyone else in the building. If a supervisor makes sure that they include everyone and always go the extra mile to have the back of the teacher and to be a support in emotional issues, then the teachers will work hard to help support the leader and the goals of the school. The things that make positive relationships between supervisors and teachers is just simple talking, creating those relationships, knowing things about each other, having a personal one-on-one conversation, and being there to support that person in whatever is going on in their life. If they know that you care about them personally, not just the numbers on a page for testing scores, this helps to build a relationship. Also, another key factor to building a relationship is follow through. If you discuss something with a teacher, then you must make sure that you follow through with that. One of the things, if someone says they're having an issue with a home, and then later on you go back and ask how are they doing with that, it says a lot that you actually listened to what they had to say and you care about them as a person, not just as an employee. Building relationships is extremely important. Once a relationship is built and you have good rapport with students and staff, then they will do what is necessary to help support you as well. Some activities that need to be included in instructional supervision include collaboration, talking through with the people on your team, listening, not trying to talk, but to listen to what people are saying, to see where they're coming from their standpoint, from their cultural background, and to understand that before moving forward. This is really important for an instructor to do as they prepare activities to lead. Once an idea has come to fruition or a problem, and the collaboration process is extremely important. You talk through how to come up with a solution for the problem so that everybody has a say and the decision is going to be made. This is important for activities, and it's important for instructional supervisors to follow through with these aspects. A change that should be made in the current practice of instructional supervision is that teachers need to have more of a collaborative say in what occurs. There are a lot of instances where the directives are made where the teachers have no say in what's happening within their own classroom. I feel that to build on the instructional supervision, it needs to be a coaching process where both parties have a side of the issue and can speak to that. I feel that to be a good supervisor, that you need to listen to those you work with and not just always make decisions without consulting the parties who are involved. A good supervisor does have those discussions, though there are times when the decision needs to be made by the supervisor, but at least there has been a discussion so that the other party knows why the decision is being made. And I feel that this is something that needs to be changed so that the teachers know it's not just a got you, that it is a collaborative process and that there are reasons why decisions are made. And if they understand what's the rationale behind the decision, it makes things come across a lot better. The purpose of education is to support creative sparks in students and to help teachers be able to do that. They need to have professional developments that train them how to incorporate hands-on activities so that students feel like they have ownership in their own education. If students feel like they have this ownership, they're more willing to be a part of their academic success. If they have choices in what they are doing, it makes them more successful. The students should be in control of the learning environment. That is the whole purpose of why we are teachers, to help students become successful, to learn, to create sparks within their lives. If the learning environment is teacher-driven, then the students don't have a lot of say in what's happening. They're not hands-on. They're not moving around and collaborating and learning. It's just someone talking to them. It's kind of like the Charlie Brown teacher talking, wah, 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 wah. We need the environment to be student-driven so that the students can have more of knowledge in what they're doing, to create questions within themselves, to have that collaborative process. And the environment does need to be student-driven. It needs to be centered around the needs of the student, not the needs of the teacher. I feel that students learn most and are most successful when the conditions in the classroom are student-driven. If the tables are set up in groups, if it's all centered around a circle where it's not just where you look at the teacher, that you're actually involved in collaboration, where the students can question the teacher and they have good rapport with that teacher. I feel that they learn a lot more if they're able to do this. Inquisitive process is one of the foundations of learning. If students aren't able to ask questions, they're not learning as well as they could be. Their minds are sponges, but that sponge has to be squeezed and so that it can absorb more information. It has to have questions. It has to have hands-on activities, movement, where students are involved and excited about what they're learning. And I feel that if students are in a classroom that is very student-driven, they are going to become more successful, because in turn, they are going to be able to have ownership of what they are learning and how they are learning it. I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, and I hope that in the future that I could be of service to you, and if I can, please let me know. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.